Hello, and welcome to the Genuine Learning Blog. My name is Alex Romero from Golasso Learning Solutions. On this week's blog, we're going to be looking at the draft version of the 2025 Compliance Supplement. So yes, exciting times. We are finally seeing at least a draft version of this 2025 Compliance Supplement, which just came out in August of 2025. The OMB released this to the AICPA's GACQ group. And so if you are a member of the AICPA, you can go online and download this draft version of the compliance supplement. Now, we were expecting to see this at the end of April, and then we were told any day now, any day now. And there was a lot of speculation as to what was going on, what was causing this delay. And really, personally, I feel like it was a lot of all this rolled together. So there were changes with programs, the change of administration, which kind of created a backlog of going through and reviewing everything. But we do now at least have this draft version that you can start using while you're planning these audits that are going to be under the 2025 compliance supplement. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and I'm going to talk about some of those changes that we see, noting that they are only in that proposed status right now, and some of those that are going to be more notable that you want to make sure that you're keen into. So first off, the best place to go to find all these changes is our Appendix 5, which is going to list all the changes from our 2025 compliance supplement compared to previous versions. So our number one thing that we look at is going to be Part 2 and Part 4. Those are going to show the different changes to each specific program. So Part 2 is our matrix. It's going to show if some of those compliance requirements went from a yes to a no or vice versa. And again, remember, we have that very easy way to identify those is that they will be highlighted in yellow if they did change. And then Part 4 is going to be going through specifically some of those programs that have changed. So there is a list that's going to be in this appendix, and you would just want to go to your specific program and read those changes. Another thing to point out here is that we did see, due to the change of terminology in the 2024 uniform guidance, there was a lot that was done in the compliance supplement, moving from the term non-federal entity to correspond to the 2024 uniform guidance and using that recipient and or subrecipient. Another item that I want to highlight is that we are going to have, again, 2 Part 3s. We've seen this in the past. And so what does that mean? Well, Part 3.1 is going to be used by auditors that are looking at programs for those that are going to fall underneath the former uniform guidance. Our 3.2 is going to be used by auditors when they're looking at awards that were subject to the 2024 uniform guidance revision. So that's the only difference there, is that we are looking at 3.1 prior uniform guidance, 3.2 2024 uniform guidance revisions. The last area I want to highlight is going to be Appendix 4, that list of our high-risk designations. We are finally seeing the removal of those COVID-19 funding programs, specifically the Emergency Rental Assistance, and then SLRFA, our Coronavirus State and Local Fiscal Recovery Funds. These are no longer part of that high-risk designation, so that is some good news. We did see these finally roll off. So what are our key takeaways with this? Well, of course, as I have in box 1, this is a draft. This is the draft version of the 2025 compliance supplement. Now, we likely won't see many changes, maybe none, to the final issuance, but just note that there could be some. This is a draft, so you can use it right now for planning purposes, but you are going to want to wait until the final is released. Then we also are looking at Part 2 and 4. That's going to have your specific program changes with the compliance requirements, and also what you're going to be looking at specifically in the programs. We are going to have that 2 Part 3s to help us with either looking at items that were with the former uniform guidance or our 2024 uniform guidance revisions. And lastly on here, that we are no longer seeing that COVID-19 funding underneath those high risk designations. So the proposed effective date for this for the draft version, and when it is a final issuance for the 2025 compliance supplement, it is going to be effective for audits of fiscal years beginning after June 30th, 2024. So really, we're looking at those that started fiscal year end for fiscal starting July 1st, 2025, with that fiscal year end of 6/30/25 and going forward. So thank you so much for joining me today as we looked at finally our draft version of the 2025 compliance supplement. Thank you.